Hello everyone, welcome to Moltencraft, where we're going to be continuing what we did the other day and working on the outpost. So I have a design for what do you call it, a processing station? Yes, let's call it that, processing station, for the various outpost spawn spots. I'll get into the materials that we need in a sec. Once we're on location. Is my bed still here? Nope. I moved the bed. Oh, that's right, I moved it inside. Okay, so I did a bit more of a cleanup after the stream. Not much, just kind of got rid of the boring stuff so that we just have the panes on location, etc. And then just set my spawn there. Alright. So, I think it's in here. Okay. This, some of the things are overkill, but this is everything that you need to create the pillager, the ominous bottle farm. Yes, ominous bottle farm. So, for each of the stations, so we're going to create, so what we're going to do is create a station for each one of these. They're going to be independent and they're going to be activated by a tripwire so that we don't have to have like a central area or whatever. And basically what's going to happen is when a pillager spawns in, it's going to activate the tripwire, which activates the trident killer and processes them from there. And then we'll have a central location somewhere, probably over there, where it has the filters and everything so that we pull out the ominous bottles and everything else goes into trash. So for each station, this being one station, there's one station over there, there will be two stations over there because there's two spawn spots, and one over there, and then we're also going to have two inside this outpost. So for each station you're going to need a jack-o'-lantern. We're going to need 5 glass, 2 stairs, 1 comparator, 1 piston, 6 redstone dust, 2 tripwire hooks, 1 string and 1 trident. You'll also need a bucket of water. We're waterlogging stairs, so one bucket's going to be enough. You're just going to have to make sure that you've got a renewable water source nearby or travel. So then for the rest of it, we're going to need ice for all the ice paths. We're going to need buttons and water to flow all the ice paths. And then for the actual ominous bottle area itself, going to need 5 comparators, 5 repeaters, 5 redstone torches, 15 redstone dust, 5 chests and 10 hoppers. You can go with more chests if you want, but I like to just kind of throw everything into just 5 chests, just because you're not going to get a huge amount of bottles all the time, even if you run it a lot. So honestly, having everything go into 2 double chests and a single chest is going to be more than enough for what you need. But feel free to expand. It's just a filtering system, nothing too difficult. Okay, so let's get started on this one here. I'll show how to make the first of these, and then it's really just a case of duplicating everything. So we're going to need these. That's for later. Going to need the buckets of water. That's sorry, the lava is for the trash. Going to need glass, piston, tripwire. That should be, actually I like to have something separate for this. I can't remember if I mentioned you'll need a trident as well. Obviously you'll need a trident. Let me just get rid of some stuff real quick. just to free up some inventory space. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, so I always like to use a jack-o'-lantern to mark the spawn spot because it's very important that you build it in the correct orientation. Now, because we are going to work on this one right away, we can get rid of all this. You don't have to get rid of the... Actually, you might need to get rid of some of this, given how close it is. But, yeah, so we have here. I like to clear it out like this and put something different in there. So, in this case, I'm going to use that. Waste not, want not. So once we have it like this, we want to have a stair there and a stair there. And then, let me see if I can build this from memory. This, like that, and then here is going to go off to where our storage is. But for now, we can let it just kind of go like so. Okay, we want a temporary block in there so that we can get glass there and then remove that. So what's going to happen, the pillager is going to spawn on this corner here, kind of head sort of in the glass, and then it's going to be pushed off. We're going to have water coming on these and it's going to be pushed into here. So from this point, we want a block there, temporary block here. Now let's encase that. Yes. So that's going to go there. You can fill in more stuff, but for right now, we're not going to. We need tripwire there. Oh, tripwire hook, sorry. Tripwire hook there. Now, if you've got spawn spots that are really close together, what I like to do, so say for example, if you had a spawn spot sort of right here, which can happen, you would take out, let me see, which way am I building? Yes, you would take out this one and you can actually just run string through right the way through there so that you essentially have two tripwire hook. Oh, so you got one tripwire hook here and one on the far one, so that you've just got one tripwire wherever it goes. Okay, so let's make a renewable water source real quick. What am I doing? Just so I don't have to keep going backwards and forwards to get the water. Man, I love the color of water in the desert. It's just such a beautiful color. Okay, so we're going to need it in this. Just so that you can see what I'm doing. We're also putting it in this. So it's sitting on the two stairs and it's flowing out. If you're having issues with it flowing out, just like where it's not supposed to be, just make sure that you block it in. That's all fine. So because we've got this hole here, and you can see it's coming down, because we've got that hole there and we built it in this order, that's the word, because we built it in this order, it's all going to flow the way it is supposed to. So then we have glass on top like this so that when the pillager spawns, it's not going to be able to get out. Then from here we need, I think that's right, we need that there, and yes. So did I grab a piston? Yes, I did. Woohoo! Hindsight, I probably should have put the piston in before I put that glass in, just to make it slightly easier. We've got the piston here, and then we're going to do like this. So this is what fires off the killing chamber like this, and it's done. Okay, so make sure that the comparator is on subtract mode. What's happening is when the pillager spawns in, it's going to be pushed against that tripwire. Great. And then this is going to read that the tripwire is active, and it's going to... Ooh, let's sleep. Far too dangerous. I will spawn proof this later. Wonder whether one will even spawn in there for us. Okay. No, nothing in there. That's cool. Tridents. There we go. So, like I was saying, it's going to spawn in. It's going to go against there, which is going to activate this, which... literally throw a trident in there. Now, let's go somewhere where we can see what's going on. That should be far enough. Now, hopefully, we're going to get one spawning in there. Actually, 102 I may be a little high. Because this is only Sim 4. Okay, 70. No, that should be alright. 30 up. Oh, we've got those guys over there. Let's take out these ones just so that they're not in the way. Okay. Come on. There. Oh, what? I shouldn't have done that. What have I done wrong? Alright. Thought I had that right, but... it's all fine. We just got to... there we go. Same idea, it was just activating that block, which is fine. Actually, you know what it was? That block was getting, because it was redstone, it was activating the whole line. Okay, yeah. Whoops. You see? Now the reason why we're using this particular trident killer, so if you wanted to do it that way, all we need to do so we want to make sure that this is encased as well, so that all the drops fall out. So I forgot this block. Everything else is all good. And I'll show you that in right now. So the reason why we're using this particular trident killer and not some other design is because this is, because we've got a solid block underneath the trident, it's a lot better from a, what's the word? Oh, hey Cody, sorry I didn't see you in there. I was so busy talking through the farm. Relog proof. That's the word I was looking for. I really should have just put glass on these ones, just so that, because they keep spawning here, which is throwing off that. Okay. There we go. See? everything working. So there's a couple spawning at the same time. They're just going to get pushed back, and then the water's going to push them back into the trident killer. Exactly as we wanted. So from here, once we're all sorted, we would just take the output. You can see that goes down there. We would just take the output and run it together once we've figured out where everything else is going to go. But this is fully functional. This is the farm. So it's a pretty simple design, which is exactly what we like. And if you ever come past here and either the trident isn't there or you accidentally pick it up, completely fine. I'm just so used to being trapped on, so I look away and then throw it. You don't need to do that. You literally just jump up here. Doesn't particularly matter. You can do it there. You can do it over here. It's all good. You could probably even throw it into there. But basically, you just want to target that block and have it sit on there. And then it's just going to function. So let's grab a glass away and go work on the next one. And because of this, because there's two over there, let's work on that one just to show that it works on both. Woohoo! And I'm gonna run up real quick. This and this. I'm gonna run up real quick and turn that to glass so it doesn't impact all the rest of it. Yeah, so if you ever want to turn these off, you literally, if you put glass there, or you can put a bottom slab, whatever you prefer. Okay, they're all gone. It's all done. Ouch, my ankles. Okay, so this one's just going to keep going. The trident doesn't run out. The only time you use any durability on the trident is when you throw it. So let me pull up the trident so you can see. I have put impaling on each of these tridents. And that just kills it slightly faster because the mobs are going to be in water. And so that's how that functions. So this one is going to be an interesting one because it's so tight. However, this design works with this just fine. Get that out of there. Okay. Later. Alright, so same thing. Let's take out these. Now you can face a situation where you're going to have 4 of these all together, and it does make it a little tight. However, like I said before, you can run the tripwire across 2. So the tripwire is generally the thing that sticks out the most. So we want to add jack-o'-lanterns. Because we've already established in the previous stream, we've already established where the spawn spots were. So same thing as the last one. Let's establish the floor. This one's going to be tight. So, oh boy. Okay. Because, thinking this one through, over here, you can see it goes down directly under here. But we're going to have to, because we need to get in the stair, so think, ooh. Uh-oh. I should have thought of that. Whoops. Oh. Yeah, it's all good. You guys can't do any real damage. Let's cover these up real quick so that we don't have issues. Oops. Because the sun's going down. Really? Come on. It's sleepy time. There we go. Alright, I think what we're going to need to do, because we need to have the stairs in a particular place, these stairs need to be there so that the water flows where it has to go. So from there, those have to be there, those have to be there. I think the only option is to send this down there. Like I don't see any way around that. This one can go, this can go down here so that we don't have to deal with that. That will need to be there so that the water doesn't flow out. So yes. But problem is, all right, let's build this one just so that we have that in place. We can see what we need to do differently, because this is real tight. So that's gone there and there. That's good. But we need the tripwire to sit across. One tripwire there. And then that's going to be there. So then it's going to activate when they sit in there. However, this one, because as you can see, we need that space for the tripwire. Because if they kind of have to be on here, you can't just kind of hit the tripwire, otherwise it doesn't activate. Fun times. So we know we need to have that there. And that's there. So they're going to be pushed here, but we need to make sure can we get away with, so I don't want to have that there, because what can happen is like bottles and stuff can get stuck on there. So worst case scenario, we have that. But I'm wondering if perhaps we can get away with, let's get that out, with a trapdoor. Because a trapdoor is going to be a lot better for this, but if the trapdoor activates when, yeah, see, that's the problem, because what's going to happen is the pillager is going to be pushed down there, so we can't have that. Alright, I think, oh, unless, no, surely not. You know what would be best? An end rod. I don't have any on me, so let's make this safe, make that safe. Pretty sure I've got an end rod somewhere. So let's do that. Because I really don't want to have to use... that's funny, it's raining on the desert. I really don't want to have to use a slab there, because I do know from past experience that things are going to get stuck. It's true. End rod it is. How's everyone doing today? Got a couple of people watching. Come on, you can load. Hello? There we go. Now, bearing in mind, you're going to see some things that might hurt your eyes. There are some kids who play on this server, so some of the builds are not magical. And some of the things are like, But everyone has fun, and that's the main thing. Wow, the server's running a little slow today. Come on, you can do it. Let's go. Okay. I know I've got end rods somewhere. Question is, where? Because in typical Akata Wolf fashion, I'm like, there it is. Okay. Villager trading halls over there, and questionable design choices are everywhere. Someone's done a elytra flying thing through there, which is a bit of fun. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you. Okay. And back to where we started. So if you don't happen to have end rods, then maybe try the slab. Maybe it'll work. I guess another alternative... no, that wouldn't work. I was just thinking another alternative could be to put the tripwire further out, but that's not going to work because you're going to need space for the wire to go. Yeah. back at it. Snow in the desert? Must be as I fly across the river biomes. And after all this, I hope it works. That would be awkward. Okay, so for this one, would that be sufficient to hold it in place? Maybe. We may need to change the orientation, but for now, that's going to do what we want. Hopefully. Oops. Let's block there, block that one. Got these two flowing. It's going to go in here. It's going to sit there. Should still be in range of the trident killer. Oh, but no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Because the trident killer aspect of it. So originally when I designed this, it was for you have a lever and you hit it and it works with all like the 4 closest spawn spots. But I've modified it to work with self-starting with like this. So that goes over there and then piston's going to be there. That's going to be over there, and then, oh, jeez. Can we? I wonder. Because I've built lots of these, and I'm not entirely sure that I've built one quite this tight in this direction. Any other direction, no worries. So piston there. That should give enough clearance through there. That should be fine through there. Okay, so come out through here. Out through here. This is going to be for that and that. Really? Oh. Okay. So this stuff up the top doesn't need to be glass, but I like to be able to see. Yeah, that'll be right. Hope so. Doesn't need to be glass up the top. It can be whatever you would like. But I like to be able to see that. What am I thinking? I like to be able to see that the trident killer is all working. There, let's grab 2 tridents. So that's good, that should be everything. Strings in there, strings in there. Okay, Yeah, so I like to do it in this way and then kind of dig out underneath for everything after. If you wanted to, you do it the other way. So let's give this a test. Make sure that it's all working. That'd be fair enough. Alright, so that one's working. We want to make sure that both are working. And now we wait. Yeah, so the one that I wasn't sure of, yep, that's working. Both are working. We're all good. Looks like we're all good. Now we're just going to make sure that everything flows down and into their collection areas. So is that falling down there? Yep. And that's falling down there. Perfect. Okay. Phew, that worked. So, before we go any further, let's work on the collection system. So we're going to have killing chamber there, and then there's going to be one in there. That's going to be there. You know what, why don't we have it? So this, just thinking the direction that we want it to go. So that can come around a lot easier. It's all just water flows. Let's build it here. So this is going to go down. I don't know. This part we just kind of eyeball. I think I'm going to want it. Yeah, this is a good spot for it. Okay, so this one isn't going to matter because it's so high. We just want to make sure. I think we're going to have to do it off this one. Yep, so this is the lowest one. So we've got our 4 there, and then it's going to drop down. It's going to drop down there. Into that, so that's the lowest that it can be. So that everything goes, we need the ice on this level. Now, if you needed to change levels for whatever reason, then you would use that. Yeah. The question is which side we want it to flow. Because, alright, so the ice has to be at that level. Let's get some inventory management stuff going, so that we know where everything is going. So we're going to need that. This is all stuff for the other thing. I can deal with all that later. Did I have ice somewhere? I swear I had ice. Oh, I was looking right at it. Gonna need this for buttons. Okay. So this is gonna come out. That's the level that the water is going to be on because it's the lowest one. Then the question is, so that is going to come down on that side. Or I guess we could make it flow out there to come into here. Okay. So, yeah, let's do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to have a button there. Let's have ice here, and then we're going to build our filters. So it's going to be there. Give ourselves some room. Yes, yes. So I think, do we want the chests? Because how much room are we going to need? We've got the spawn spot, and it's literally just like one behind it. Yes, we've got room, so we'll have the chests on this side. Oops. Let's grab chests. No, those aren't the ones I ordered. 10 chests-ish. Okay. Whoop. So, you could have it like this for each 5, but I honestly prefer to have it so that because even when things are cranking, it's not too crazy. So I literally have it like that. If you want side on like that, you can always turn it later. So make that decision at some later stage. We're not going to do anything too crazy, too fancy with this. Because it really does take a fairly long time to collect all the ominous bottles. Alright, let's go. Come on. Hello? Okay, so we're literally just doing a fairly simple filter. Oops. Made a mistake. This needs to go down one layer. So, got the chest here. And these are going to go in there. I found it is completely fine to run everything across there. So we've got these 5. And the reason why we're doing 5 is... What? Why did I... I've miscounted the number of hoppers I need. I need 10 hoppers. Come on. So it was 5 hoppers. Ah, hey Rusty. Just working on the ominous bottle farm. So just show you real quick. We've got this here as the pillager spawns in there. We just got a simple self-starting trident killer. This design here pushes them into that, and then we do that. And I'm just working on the collection system. That's since old Rusty's shown up and he's a good dude. Let's just show him in action. enough. There we go. So they spawn in there, and each module is independent. It's designed so that it can go close enough together. We had to do a slight modification on this one on the side because it's so tight, closely together. And if you had 2 more spawn spots on the side, let's say you had spawn spots on the side here, you would take this block out here, and you would just run the tripwire across further that way so that it encompassed both of them. So this is the tough part, getting it there. So this one goes off to the side, and this one, like most of the designs, goes straight into there. Okay, let me. Oh. Desert work is hungry work. So, not doing anything fancy with these. This is literally just a filter. Let's see if I can remember how these ones are built. So, oops. We need to cut this out. Oops. And did I get my torches? Oops, that one. Need the torches, the repeaters, and this, and the dust. That should all be good. Do whatever filter system you want here. This is literally just a pretty basic one that I like. Gets the job done, you know? So, redstone torches is going to go across there. We have that to lock them. Then we put the comparators in. And the comparators are going to go to, we need 2 more layers here. And literally just dust on the rest of these. Nothing fancy, and I'm going to run out of dust because I've got 25. Oh, nope, I can't count. Okay, that's it. That's done. You just need your filter items in there, and you need your ominous bottles. And until we get our ominous bottles, until we get everything connected up, that's not going to work. So let's clear these guys out. So I'm blocking their spawns. So then we're going to be getting them from here, because we need to get one of each of the ominous bottles before we do anything. So just to there has to be something underneath it, just to simulate what it would be like. And what's that doing? Some of these, so that we can have some of those. Should probably put glass around before I do what I was just about to do and ruin all the work I just did. So eventually we're going to have, literally just going to have some lava. That's why I got the lava bucket. Just going to put some lava in there. Not going to do that right now, because the purpose of right now is to collect the ominous bottles. So could just leave it. So essentially everything's going to flow across into there, and it's going to go across all our filters. And we've got So now, yes, you require something? Didn't think so. Okay, so I'm going to, not particularly happy with that. Just thinking, it's just a little close to where I want. Oh, got my first ominous bottle. Yay! So I'm actually going to start that there, just to make it easier to push everything through. Yeah, let's do that. So we want button to go there. That's going to go there and run across. Good. So then we're going to run our water streams into here. So our water streams are going to come into here, it's going to hit that, and then go over the filters, which is exactly what we want. Good. Let's go do that. So from here, I can fill this in. Is no problem. Don't need that no more. So let's make sure I'm digging in the right spot. So this is going to come through there. Okay. Ordinarily, it's right under here, but this time we're going to need to go. Go. So once we have this, I think that's right. Is that the right level? 64. Nope, too high. Deeper. So once we have this here, we want to have that there, so that's gonna, just want it to flow down, you know? Okay, so that's gonna flow down, that's gonna flow down, and we need to sleep because it's far too dangerous out here, goodness me. Can't believe no one's spawn-proofed this place. Danger. So, got this here. This meets here. One more. Oh. Hello, Mr. Zombie. Alright, yep, that's all good. That's better. Okay. Got it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. now it's just a case of connecting up the water streams. So that's going to flow in there. Good. Ah, like it was designed for it. Right, so that's going to flow over there. Make sure the trident killers, yeah, those are still active. And then for now, it's just going to collect the stuff, and that's fine. Oh, no, I don't want you here. You're going to ruin my plans. Yeah. Just got more junk from these dudes. A lot of sand. Weird. So, I just heard one of the new sounds of the sand, and thought it was a creeper. Okay, so this one's going to go straight in there. Here we go, let's see this in action. We should see, yep, here we go. Here's the stuff from that. Going to go down there and into the filters. Good. Right, time to work on this one. Yes, I know. Pickaxe isn't the right thing for wool, but what are you gonna do? Alright, cleared this one out, and we've already got that connected. So, can take these. Let's do some inventory management. Good enough. Okay, so we're gonna need those. Gonna need piston. Some of those. Oop. Stop scaring me. Where are my jack-o'-lanterns? So, this is the spawn spot. And we have this. Make sure. Freaking me out. Don't need those panes though. Oh, that wasn't right. Oops. Ah, well. So, oops. Because that's going to go there. And this is where the hole's meant to be. Yes. Lovely. Fine. Don't need any of this. Let's shut that down just cause. So this water's going to go in there. Is it even going to reach? Actually, no, because we pulled it back, so that'll be fine. Okay, so we've got these, we've got the stairs in this orientation, then we want the blocks around them. Like so. And then, gonna need that there, that there. That's gonna go across. This is where the piston goes. Yes. Then we need glass on top of that. So glass to push the pillager out. We have water there. And water there. So is that going to reach? Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Perfecto. So, time for the trip wires, which I don't have, of course. Got those. Yeah, that should be everything I need for this part. So we need tripwire goes there. Block on there with the tripwire. And then a string in there, so that when they spawn, they go yoink. And the good thing about it being pillagers is we don't have to worry about baby zombies. Or babies of any kind. Solid block on that and there. Then we want the glass on top. Like so. And then this for the doovalaki thingamajig, the doohickey. Comparator on subtract mode. And that's done. Just need the trident. Come on. Just need the trident. Done. Onwards and upwards. Yeah, you can stay there. Okay, so that's active. This one's active. Let's see if we got, oops, let's see if we've got any, didn't really think that one through, did I? You can come down here. I swear I've done this before. Don't have anything. Okay, so we got 3 and 1. Is that active? It's fine. Okay, so yeah, let's connect this one up. So we want this to feed in here. Yes. It's going to go there, and it's going to be on 64. Wow, I'm struggling with inventory management today, aren't I? What can I get rid of? Don't need that. Don't need my fortune. Why have I got that many arrows? Too many arrows. Stop it. Okay. Now to wire this one, well, to water stream this one up. And it come down. Okay, come on. I could always just drop it down. I think I'll run this one into here as well. Yeah. Let's go underground. Why not? Where's this coming out? So go down there. Yes. Okay. I feel like I've been hit with an inventory bomb. Cover this one up after we're done with it. But for now, let's go underground. Okay, so we're on 63. Oops. Water physics are funny, aren't they? Now I had ice somewhere. I think it was in that one. Yes, found it. Don't worry, I found it. Okay. Yep, that's going to connect in there. And let's block all that. Nope. You don't wanna? There we go. Yeah, Minecraft water physics are weird. So that's going to come down and around. What? No, my buttons. And that's going to flow nicely into here. Okay. So that's going to come hit into there. And all shall be well. That's all good. All right. So we've taken care of that. I'm going to connect that up first before deal with that. Yes, good plan. I like your plan. You have great plans. So, if I have this, oh, come on. Right. So for this one, this time, I'm going to connect it up before I build anything else. We're going to have all these, oh my gosh. Going to replace that with the, come on, these. That's going to push into there, hole's going to be there. So, let's, what level is that? 307. So it's going to run straight into here. Good. I'll leave that there for now. Uh-oh. Oh, I did it again, didn't I? You? No more spawny. Okay. That's sitting on 64. So we need to go down one. Okay. That's under there. And so much sand. So I want to make sure that this is flowing slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Don't want it flowing any further than it has to. So that it hits there and doesn't like fly through and end up on there, because that would be annoying. Okay. So we are going to have, that's going to come down there and flow through there, so we're going to make sure that it works for us. There, good. Far too much sand. Sometimes it's hard to see what's sand and what's sandstone. Or maybe it's just my eyes. Okay. Let's grab that. And now we build. So, you know what? We should probably think about putting some of this stuff down so that we can reach it. That would be smart. Sandstone, where's my sandstone? There it is. Get rid of these. Yes. So we've got sandstone, we've got, I think we've got everything. So remember, those two go there, and then we surround all this. And there. And that's our basic framework. We need glass panes. Well, not glass pane. That's what I was looking at. Don't need glass panes. We can get rid of that. But we do need a bucket of water. So that's going to flow down there. And then that's going to flow in there. Wonderful. Solid blocks across the front. That's going to be there. Solid block there. Solid block. Come on. I swear these days feel like they're going fast. Maybe it's just I'm having so much fun. Hope you're having fun too. Ah, again. Come on. Hours of amusement, as they say. Okay, so we need a solid block there, and then we get our tripwire. Oh, I already got the string. Huh. Tripwire hooks there. Put our string there. We need, in line with this, put that there with for the piston, which is going to sit there. Solid block, solid block. Have a 4 like that. And just because I know I'm going to want to be able to get up and down more easily. Okay, so gonna need more of that. Comparator. That's there, and then we need our glass across the top, like so. Is that it? Yes. Yes. Yes, that is it. Trident in. Again, I'm just so used to firing at a trapdoor trident killer where you have to look away. Okay, so now that should be active, that should be active, and everything should be active. Let's go up here just to make sure. Oh, that won't be active though, because it needs to be on subtract mode. Double check that I put this one on subtract mode too. Yep. Okay. That's working. And that's working a little slowly. Yep, no, that's all good. Now let's check that everything's flowing down there. Yep. Perfect. What? Okay. So some of the stuff is getting caught here, which is why we check these things. So all we need to do is just make sure that it's filled. And let's go do the same over here, make sure nothing, because sometimes the velocity or the direction, etc., that it's being pushed in, it can get stuck. Okay, good. That's all working. Now, if we head over up here, so over the center, we're going to go up by 5, and now from this point here, everything should function. Can't quite see that one. So we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything should be in range from here. We can see everything because we're on Sim 4. What's going on down there? Oh no, that's right. It's just some XP that got stuck. That's working. Right, so let's watch systematically and make sure that every single station is active from here, in which case this will be our AFK spot. Alright, so the far one's working. And if the far one's working, then the near one's going to work. That's working. Now we just watch these two, make sure they're both functioning. Yep, those are good. Oops. And then that one's going to work. Wonderful. Okay, so now all we need to do is make our filters and it'll be all done. Now, let's just dump off some of this stuff. Yes, I know, it could be better organized, but I'm not, alright? Anyone else do that, where you have too many crafting tables? Okay, need a little bit more iron. Because I could do filters with just any random stuff that's not going to make its way into there, but here we go. I would much... Oh, really? 2 iron, sure. Wow, that's annoying. Okay. Now, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it properly. Alright? I'm sure I got more iron over here. And if not, there's going to be some in my fish farm. So I got fish farm there, and I've got a trident drown farm thing up there. Little XP farm here, which is just ridiculously fast. Come on, it just needs some iron. Like, literally 2 ingots. No. Down underneath the farm here, somewhere. Come on. I know there's iron here. There it is. Because I want an anvil. Let's do bone meal, because that'd be funny. Okay, what should we call this? Should we just go with the standard? And if you want to know how to make this, it is, you hold Alt and then you do 00167 with the number pad, and you get that. Okay, so we've got this for our filters, and hopefully the ominous bottles will have... Oh, check this out. Oh, that's right, I saw this the other day when I was flying back. I think this is the one. This has the weirdest... Whoa! Weirdest combination. Look, look, look. Lava underneath the water. It's crazy. Have you ever seen anything like that before? Oh, why be like this? Okay. Yeah, check that out. Lava under the water. And here comes the rain. Rain IRL, not in Minecraft, because it's a desert. It doesn't rain in the desert. Okay, so hopefully we will have some bottles of different sorts. Bad Omen 3. Now you could, of course, get the do the thing for the banners if you would like. Let's go that. So if you want to keep the banners, then you would just add an additional filter on here, or if there's any other drops that you want, just do that. But whoa, that's a lot of nonsense. So we've got, let's put it in order. So we've got 5, we've got 2, we've got normal, we've got 4, and we've got 3. Sweet. Got everything. So let's go 1. And 2. 3 goes in there. Gonna go 4 in there. So even though the banner stacks to 16, it'll just, the filter will work its way out. It'll be fine. And then 5 goes in there. And we're all sorted. So, just to show that this works, it's going to come over, and all the extra stuff is going to end up here. We're going to pick up all the bottles through there, and then the last step is to get it. Of course, it's in this one, isn't it? Yeah. So then anything, let's get that sand, anything that's not the potions are going to get filtered into there. Going to go straight in. And I think, because we want to, oh, no, don't do that. I'm going to lose it, aren't I? Yep. So we want to make sure that we don't fall in. So you could do glass, I guess. I guess. Okay, so now let's watch this farm in action. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different modules all working. They're all working independently. So these are all relog proof. Once you know, if you log out of the world or whatever, it's all going to be fine. Worst case scenario, you have to go in and rethrow a trident, but that's no big deal. Everything's going to work independently. It's only going to be firing when the pillagers are actually in place to be killed. So what you want to do from here is make sure that you spawn proof all this area around there, because if you're AFKing overnight, you're going to get various mobs in here which will decrease the rates because they'll take up the hostile mob cap. But these get rid of these guys pretty quickly. And yeah, pretty happy with all that. You don't have to worry about killing all the passive mobs like the camels or what you call it, the rabbits. coming towards the end of the stream, my brain started to fry. So you don't have to worry about getting rid of all the passive mobs. That's all fine. And you don't want to slab this area because of the way that structure spawns work. So you want to, yeah, you want to have as much around it spawnable as possible. That'll increase your rates. So just use torches, use lights of any sort to spawn proof, and yeah, so pretty happy that this is all working. And let's go see what's going on down here with all the goodies. So everything, those are the bows that I threw in. So you can literally build it however you want. You could have, like I could have done it off to the side there, and then we wouldn't have the come down sideways, which is fine really. Actually, let's get rid of some of this junk, shall we? Don't need it. So we got, I don't think the 3 feeds into that, does it? Yeah. Okay. So these will all build up to till they hit 41. And then anything after 41 is going to overflow. It is going to trigger, if you haven't seen item filters before, anything over 41, it's going to increase the signal strength to 3, which is then going to unlock the hopper underneath, which allows it to flow through to the one below. So you can see anything that's not a bottle is just going to get pushed straight into the lava, which is exactly what we want, because we don't want all those crossbows and such like, aw, isn't it adorable? Okay, so, I can't remember if I mentioned, but one of the reasons why I like to use jack-o'-lanterns to mark the spawn spot. Yes, spawn spot. One of the reasons why I like to use the jack-o'-lanterns is because that way you only get pillagers in there. So the pillagers aren't affected by the light level. It's only like hostile mobs, like skeletons and what do you call them? The husks. Thinking for desert. Those sort of things, they get affected by the light. So by having excuse me, by having a jack-o'-lantern, which is a light source, then you're not going to have to worry about, you know, creepers going in there and then, I don't know, randomly getting shot by a skeleton or something, blowing the whole thing up. So it's just an extra precaution. And honestly, given that you're only filtering for those things, you don't want anything else in there. So that's why we do that. So, hope you found this one useful. Hope you found this useful, seeing how I build these pillager processing stations, shall we call them? Yes, because YouTube doesn't like using those words. But this way we can get all the ominous bottles that we need for our raids and for the trial chambers and all that cool stuff. So, hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one.